Why do we do the very thing we know will hurt us? Why do we cross lines, even when we clearly understand the consequences? It's not always ignorance. It's not always weakness. Sometimes it is a quiet battle inside us, a pull between what is right and what feels good in the moment. And this struggle began long before us. It began in a garden. In the beginning, everything was perfect. No stress, no fear, no shame, no confusion, just peace. Adam was there. Eve was there. And God was with them. There was no distance, no separation, just relationship, pure and close. The Bible says in Genesis chapter 2 that God placed them in a beautiful garden, full of life, full of provision, full of purpose. Everything they needed was already given. Everything, except one thing. There was a boundary. A simple instruction. Do not eat from one tree, just one. Not 10, not many, just one. And that is where the tension begins. Because human nature struggles with limits. We can have everything and still focus on the one thing we cannot have. Then came the voice. Not loud, not forceful, just subtle. The serpent. He did not attack directly. He questioned, did God really say? That question matters because temptation rarely starts with action. It starts with doubt. Eve listened. She looked. She thought. And suddenly, the forbidden thing looked attractive, desirable, even reasonable. The Bible tells us in Genesis chapter 3 that she saw the fruit was good for food, pleasing to the eye, and desirable for gaining wisdom. And in that moment, emotion overpowered instruction. She took it, she ate, then gave it to Adam. And he ate, just like that. Everything changed. Not slowly, instantly. Their eyes opened, but not in the way they expected. Awareness came, shame entered, fear followed. For the first time, they hid, not from danger, but from God. And that is what sin does. It does not just change actions, it changes relationship. When God called them, they did not run toward him. They ran away. Because guilt creates distance. Adam blamed Eve. Eve blamed the serpent. Responsibility was shifted. Because when we fall, we often try to protect ourselves instead of facing the truth. And this is not just their story. It is ours. We know what is right. We feel the warning. But sometimes we still choose the wrong path. Not because we don't know, but because in the moment, it feels worth it. The Bible reminds us in James chapter 1 that each person is tempted when they are drawn away by their own desires, and those desires give birth to sin. That is the pattern. Desire, decision, consequence. So what is really happening inside us? It is not just about rules. It is about trust. Do we trust God enough to believe that his boundaries are for our good? Or do we believe we know better? Adam and Eve had everything, but they doubted one instruction. And that doubt opened the door to everything else. So what does this mean for you? Because your tree may look different. It may be a habit, a relationship, a decision you know is wrong, but feels right. First, recognize the voice. Temptation will always sound reasonable. It will always justify itself. But truth remains steady. Second, guard your thoughts. Because the battle is won or lost before the action happens. What you allow to grow in your mind will eventually show in your life. Third, return quickly, because even after the fall, God still called them. Not to destroy them, but to reach them. That is grace. The Bible says in Romans chapter 5 that where sin increased, grace increased even more. Meaning, your mistake is not the end, but it is a warning. And here is the truth you must hold on to. One wrong choice can change everything, but one right decision can begin restoration. Because the real battle is not outside you, it is within you, between desire and discipline, between doubt and trust. So the next time you are faced with that moment, pause, think, choose wisely. Because not every open door is meant for you, and not everything that looks good is good for you. If this message spoke to you, take a moment to like this video, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs it.